Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and you are looking at one excited squirrel this morning. I am so thrilled. I have so many stories to tell. I just came back late last night from Vienna, Austria, and it was every bit as magical as I thought it would be. But before I get all carried away with my stories, I am going to share with you a really fun card. And I like to make cards that looked like they were a ton of work to make, but I tried to make them as simple as possible. And this one is called, I think, a recessed front card or a recessed panel front card, something like that. I will double check it and make sure I have it right. Um, and you could make the background piece with stamping, but I chose to do it even simpler and use our beautiful pattern paper instead. So let's take a peek at what we're up to. So here is a finished card that I've already made, and then I'm going to show you how to make it. And I love this. I love the combination of the clean white basic, card front that's been embossed. I love the pop of that patterned paper, and I love that saying. And you see those cute little berries on there? I have made that with the pearlized enamel effects dots, okay? And the saying, I love myself a good basic punch. And this one is fantastic. I should have done my homework. I don't even know what it's called. Some sort of label punch. The links will be in my description of my video, okay, so you can find it and then I'll know what it's called as well. And then the stamp set that I've used is called Very Best Occasions. And I've got this one with a little more sparkle and a little less stress. Let's make this Christmas the very best. That sounds perfect to me. Today is also the last day to sign up for my class, which is called Save Your Sanity class. It's all about less stress for Christmas and carving out time for yourself. It's December the 7th, and you can either come from 1 to 4 or from 6 to 9. And you can either get a class by mail or you can come in person in Chatham. So let me know, and I'll send you more information. So the other thing here is, may your days be happy, your heart be light, your Christmas merry, and the new year bright. And what's nice about this stamp set, it's not just for Christmas. Love you, mean it, love you, miss you, happy birthday, thinking of you with comfort and love. You make my life happier, sending you smiles for every moment of your special day, and may you enjoy the warmth of family this season. So I think this is a fantastic stamp set, and it is number 159871. Okay, so we're going to get started. I am using this paper, which is called Painted Christmas. And this is all what I have left of this, is the one that I used on the card today. And I'm also, for the card we're going to make now, I'm going to use this one right here. So beautiful paper. I don't want to go through all of it. There's pine cones. Let's have a look, see. There. That gives you enough of a glimpse of what it's all about. Beautiful paper. I think you're going to love it. All right. I'm not sure. I don't think it's in the annual catalog. Today, there's a big sale on all products from the annual catalog. Stamp sets are, I think, 15% off. Dies and embossing folders are 20% off, as is paper, pattern paper, not cardstock. Okay, enough talking, Jackie. I am starting with a card base. This is an A4 from Europe, so it's a little longer and skinnier, but otherwise you're using a let me think now, 11 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. This is 29 point whatever, scored at 10 point, well, you know what, no, scored at 14.9, and it's 10.5 centimeters wide. You can see this is not my strong suit, but yeah, that's just the way it is. So I have this, then I have a piece of pattern paper that's 10 centimeters by 14.4. Yeah. And, or it's just take off 1/8 of an inch. So it would be 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 wide. Okay. And then you're going to have a piece of white cut the exact same size. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to grab a ruler. And you don't even have to use a ruler unless you want to make a bunch of these and they're all the same. So I've got my ruler here, and I'm going to go at, let me see, the other one, 1/2 inch and 1 1/4. And then 3 1/2 inches on the other side. I think. I better double check. I think that's wrong. 3 inches. And then the other one will be right to the corner. Okay, now I'm talking Greek. You're thinking, Jackie, I don't have a clue what you're talking about. All right, I'm going to show you. So now all we're basically doing is cutting a strip out of this piece of white cardstock. So what we're going to do is go to that first mark, which was at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to go to the 3-inch mark on the other side, and I'm going to put those both in the trough. And yes, my finger is still, doesn't hurt at all, but this is the finger that got caught in the bathroom door about a month ago. And that's okay. So I'm just going to cut that, okay? This is going to be the top of the card. So I'm going to save this piece. Then I'm going to take that other dot and bring it all the way to the corner, bottom corner of my card front, okay? Like so. I'm going to chop that. This piece I don't need, this weird piece, okay? So I need this top and the bottom. And what it's going to do is this. Here's my piece. This is going to go like so. This is going to go like so, and then to make it a little bit more interesting, we're going to put a little strip of something, another color, to make it pop out a little more. And I want to use this evening evergreen, and I'm just going to cut some strips at 1/2 inch. Okay, and this is just a piece that I had laying on my desk. It's about 8 1/4 inches long. It doesn't need to be quite that long, but it's better to have longer than shorter. Okay, now we're going to take these pieces. This is easy. The important thing is, and you could even write something, make sure, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. So I have this piece and this piece. And what I'm going to do so that I don't get mixed up, I had a pencil a minute ago. I no longer have a pencil. Okay, I know I have a pencil. We're going to find the pencil. I found the pencil. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn this around and put a B on it for back. And this one, that's where the glue has to go. Because if you do it on the wrong side, your whole card is knackered. It's not going to be any good. So what we want to do is grab some liquid adhesive, and we're going to put a little line right along the edge. Okay. And I did a 1/2 inch so that I have a little room to spare. There. And then we're just going to flip this over. And and I want a little edge. You can decide, I just want this to be a really narrow edge, almost 1/8 of an inch, because I don't want it to take up too much space. What I do want is to make sure it's kind of even, which I'm not sure if I managed that. I have gone on very little sleep in the last, I usually need 8 hours of sleep, and I got about 6 hours of sleep every night. Now I have to look this up. That's the back. Okay, yeah, so that goes like this. So I want that green strip on that side. Okay, make sure every step of the way, if you're like me and you're challenged with directions, which I totally am, if you go shopping with me or city street, you know, like what we did in Vienna, I almost always will automatically turn the wrong way. I get disoriented very easily. It's because I'm kind of squirrely and I'm too busy looking around at everything and absorbing everything and not paying attention to the directions. So I need to surround myself with good friends. Take a look at this. Look at this little guy. I found myself a squirrel at the Christmas market. I'll hold him up later beside myself. Isn't that just so cute? My new mascot. All right, squirrel is here. Now I'm going to take some scissors and I'm just going to trim this green off like this. Okay. So, and like so, and we're going to do the same thing with this one. And then the next step is to run it through the embossing folder. And it's so simple, and yet I think it's really striking. Now I have to think again, because now I'm going to mess up. Oh yeah, like this. Okay. See? This is what's happening so far. We have the patterned paper, we have this going at the top, we have this going at the bottom, and now we're going to run these two pieces through the embossing folder. I'm going to put it through this, which is the pine. It goes, this is one, it's a wintry 3D. So the one is these pine bows and the other one is snow. I could do snow, but I think that this might be nicer. Maybe I should do one with snow. Okay, we're going to do one with snow. Okay, so this is what it looked like. You're using plate number 4. Then you have your embossing folder. and you have your base that goes through the die cutting machine. Now, I've done something and you have to guess what I did. So that's what it looks like. And here is my top piece. I think it looks really pretty. And here is my bottom piece. Now you need to look very carefully. Whoops, let me just grab this and lift it up. What did I do, people? Can you tell? Or is it not working very well? I'll tell you what I did. This is embossed and this is debossed. I did it completely by accident. This is the embossed side. And you know, I could, no, see, it doesn't work that way. It's a little more striking when it's embossed, but I'm not going to throw this away and start again. So I'm just going to pretend that this is what I wanted to do all along. Okay, so let's keep going. Here are the Wintry 3D embossing folders. Isn't that cute? They come in a set and they are 3D. They're extra thick. Beautiful. I use them a lot. The links will be in below my description, okay? So now I'm going to take this painted piece and it will fit right on here. So it's just 1/8 of an inch smaller than your card front. And you could, if you wanted to, so this is what makes it, this is how I made it easier. I'm going to take a backtrack for a minute. You don't have to put the whole card front on here because you could figure out, you could take a little bit off. See, it doesn't have to go all the way up to the top. You could take a 1/2 inch off and save some paper, but I just don't want that hassle. So now it's definitely going to fit and it's not costing me that much extra paper. And you can cut your opening any which way. It doesn't have to go right to the bottom corner. It can go up a little bit. You don't even have to measure. Just make sure that when you cut it, it's kind of on a diagonal and that both sides aren't exactly the same. And even if they were, that's okay too. There just isn't a right and a wrong. And I like that idea. And I love the idea that the card isn't in the regular lines that you usually have. So here we go. And then these pieces need to be popped up. So you're going to use your dimensionals and you want to be fairly generous with them, okay? You don't want to be cheap with them because you want them to be, the panels to be nice and sturdy. And so I'm not going to quite wallpaper it, but I'm going to like I said, be generous. I'm going to use an edge here. Of course, now I don't have an edge here because I want to get close to my corners here. Let's have a look. Now, see, I want to get as close in there as I can, and the edge piece is perfect for that. There. If Pop was still alive, he would say something about this. I had a pedicure. I don't know if you guys ever do this, and you have a pedicure, and then I'm kind of cheap, so I only go once every couple of months. And then you know how your nails grow out, and then if you have a darker polish, then there's only part of my big toe was a different color. And then I would be helping Pop to walk from the kitchen to the bathroom, and he'd be holding onto my arm. And then he would look down and he'd go, "What did you do to your toe? Wat heb je met je teen gedaan?" He would say in Zeeuws. And I'd say, "Oh, Pop," I said, "I didn't bump it. It's just it's just nail polish." And of course, nail polish to him, it was like something from another world. But yeah, funny memories. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. And then maybe another skinny piece along that bottom edge. And then we have it. This piece anyway. Anyway, it's good to hold on to happy memories of people that we've lost, you know. It brings you joy. And I just feel so blessed that I was able to have him for so long. I mean, he was an old dad. He wasn't married till he was 31. And then I was born a lot later. They were married in 58 and I was born in 67. So 9 years after their marriage, I came along. So by then he was 31 and 9. Yeah, he was about 40. Maybe older. My math's a little off. Okay, so that one goes at the top. And now we're going to do this one at the bottom. And then this is quite a busy paper, right? So the idea that you have a peekaboo in there is just really, I think, an ideal way to use up this pattern paper. So I'm just going to use this corner piece. I'm making such a mess. I'm just making a mess. Okay, it's still going to work though. Here, look at that, right into that corner. So that's great. You can use your dimensionals strategically to really work hard for you. I'll put that one going that way. Take off just a regular one here, here, and here. That should do it. That should give us enough stability for our card. Just to touch them all, make sure you've got the backings off, because if you don't have the backings off, they don't really do a good job. Okay, so now this one goes, and you want to just make sure your edges are covered up well. There. So that's looking nice. Now we just have to decide where we're going to put our sentiment. So this is that one. And then I wanted to show you what I wanted to use. I wanted to use this die, this one, and this is what it makes. It makes this beautiful thing. So, like so. And I want to show you something, because I used my Stamparatus, like I always do, for the negative. So I've cut this out. And I want you to learn from my mistake, so watch carefully. So I have this in the corner, and then I took my saying, which I need to find. It's not this one, it's another one. Oh, and I can also show you how to put your label on your block if you would like me to do that. Let's have a look, see if I can find it. I need to find this one. May your days be happy. Oh yeah, here it is. I didn't put my label on yet, so I'll show you in a, well, maybe, you know what, I should show you right now, because I think this is great. So I've already taken the sticker off. Now I need, or the backing off my stamp. Now here's the sticker sheet, and I want this one. So you take the whole thing off, and this side is sticky, okay? Now I'm hiding my block somewhere. Oh, you know, I really do need an assistant. I need someone to be with me every step of the way. See, I cleaned up my desk. I shouldn't have done it because now my block was missing. Put it on the block, give it a press, and then peel off that sticker. So the sticky side went down. My nails are terrible. I can do whatever I want. My nails are terrible. And Gerard's are made out of like steel. So see, he could be useful for me in this way as well. Okay, so I have my sticker. I have my stamp. And I got to just make sure it's the right way. This is the May Your Days, so there we go. You lay it like so, and then you hover over top. And when you see no edges, you go down. See, and now it's good. And I think I did a good job. There's no edges. My block needs some cleaning, that's true. Okay, I don't need it on the block. So here I have it. And now here comes the important part, okay? So don't walk away now. Move that out of the way. Don't need that one. So here is my opening. So I usually go like this and, oh no, like this, and I center it, okay? And it's centered, and that looks good. And I want to move it over as far as possible because I don't want to stamp on those holly leaves. So that's what I did, okay? Like so, and then I go and I put this in. I put it in so that it's like a puzzle piece. And when it's good, I clamp it down. But do you see what the problem? Do you see where I'm going with this? Well, I did that, and the May Your Days, because there's this piece that goes around first. So now, when I do it like the way I just did, it's too high. I had to lower it a little bit. So let's take a peek at the difference. So here's the one that I did wrong, and here's the one that I did right, and now there's a little bit more space. Okay, so when you're doing this, you can't lay it in the open space. You actually have to lay it right on your piece so that you can see where it has to be. There. Now that's better. And then we close it up, and then I check again on my hinge thing because there's lines on here to make sure that it's perfectly straight. There. And then I think that we're going to stamp it in Evening Evergreen. We'll do that. Okay, so I have my Evening Evergreen. And slide that over a little bit. Tap, tap, tap. And then just kind of let it fall. Hopefully I didn't move it over too far. Ooh, just good enough. I was playing with the edge there. Anyway, Vienna was beautiful. And not only, I think it's a lot like Paris with its architecture, just super incredibly beautiful, such detailed um, work on the outside of the buildings, all the statutes on the tops of the roofs, and the beautiful ornate balconies and things. It's just, you just stare your eyes out. You almost get a sore neck from looking up, and the buildings are so tall and ornate. Then the Christmas markets were just starting. And then the best part ever, we got tickets to an orchestra. And it wasn't in the big orchestra hall or the opera hall or whatever. It was in a beautiful building. I'll share pictures on my page, on my Pampered Stamper page. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And it was actually quite small. And the orchestra, there were only like two violinists and a viola and a cello, I don't know, and just a few, and a flautist and a saxophonist and a piano player. But the acoustics made it sound like there was a whole orchestra, and then there was also an operetta which I'd never heard before, and they sang so beautifully. It was honestly one of the most magical experiences of my life. So on, yeah, and I just think to myself, without Stampin' Up, I wouldn't have had these things. I wouldn't have gone to Vienna right now. But because there was a Stampin' Up, anyway, I'm getting too excited. But if I went with my Dutch team members, but yeah, this is the kind of thing that I do with my team. We rented a beautiful Airbnb, so I have a silicone mat now, and then we stayed extra days so we could see the city. So we do Stampin' Up stuff, and then we do touring stuff, and I'm like a tour guide to my team. So I hope that you join my team someday when you're ready. It was so much fun. Okay, I need my sponge. So I've got some liquid adhesive, and just wait to see. I'm going to turn this into something magical. I've got a sponge. Flatten out the glue, and then we're going to put it on the back here. Dab, dab, dab. And then I'm going to just move that out of the way. Lay this down, and then I'm slowly going down. And here we have it. Look at that. Isn't that just so pretty? And I think it's going to work with our card. So let's have a look. We have this one. And I thought if we put this just like that, it'll be really lovely. I think that's really pretty. I didn't pop it up on this card because this is already popped up. You're going to end up with a really fat card. So I think I'm going to leave it flat. You can pop it up if you like. I don't like paying $4 to mail a card. So I'm just going to put some adhesive here. I hope I did it right. I didn't. I shouldn't have put the adhesive here because it's hanging over top. So I'm going to put a dimensional there to offset my mistake. See, this is what I mean when I'm not directionally, I forget. I forget that that's going to go to the other side. And then, yeah. Oh, well, it's not the end of the world. It's just paper. It's a card. Okay, here we go. The key is, the theme from Stampin' Up! Was to have fun. And I'm all about having fun, especially in the things that that are optional in life. They should be fun. We all need more fun in our lives. Okay, you know what? Now I don't need this one here. I got it off. Good, good, good. But that one does need to be there. Okay. One, and two, and then this is just popping up a little bit. I think that looks cute. Really, if you don't like that, you can add a little glue to that piece too. And then the pièce de résistance is going to be this puff paint, and we're going to add a few little holly berries. Now make sure you put this away when you're done, because it takes a while to dry. There. And then I'll put one here too. It looks a little pink, but it will dry red, I promise. Isn't that just so pretty? I think so. And it's just simple. I'm not going to add anything else to it. Some people would add gems. You could add a little Wink of Stella if you wanted to have a little sparkle. Now, I would like to know which one is your favorite. I should cut another. And I should have asked as well if you think red would have looked nicer. Then you have the contrast with the red. No, I like this better. But anyway, I didn't even give you a chance to vote, did I? Terrible. Okay, I want to show you a few other things. This is fun stuff. It's not Stampin' stuff. Okay, here's the other card. Which one do you like better? The one with the holly leaves or the one with the punch. The punch is quick and easy, and you don't need a die cutting machine. But if you do want a die cutting machine and you don't have one, put it in a starter kit so that you don't have to pay shipping and tax. Although I'm saying that, and I think in Canada it doesn't work, but then you can order it with your first order and get 20% off. Okay. Now, do you want to see some of the things I got in Vienna? Just a few things. I hardly bought anything because just going to Vienna and then staying in an Airbnb and then paying for your meals, it does all add up. So let me just move the cards. But I did get a few Christmas ornaments, and I got 3. Oh, don't tell me that one is missing. I think my one is missing. Oh, I hope not. I got this one, which is a star with a little bell. Isn't that cute? So that's going to hang on the tree. Obviously, Christmas ornaments hang on the tree. Then I got these skates. These little metal skates. Aren't they just so lovely? And then I got my squirrel. And I'm just going to look for that last ornament. Well, you're looking at a sad squirrel. I just ran downstairs to look, and I think I left my other beautiful squirrel ornament in the Christmas market on the counter. I must have put it down to pay and forgot to pick it up. But I did get this fun hat. Isn't that pretty? It's just ombre. It's like a really light crumb cake at the top and then a vanilla. Anyway, that'll keep me warm on my North Sea walks. And let's flip to here. And here is my cute squirrel. But my little other ornament was so cute. It was all glittery and vintage, and it had a squirrel. And I'm really hoping I find it somehow magically. And then, oh, one other thing I want to show you. I'm going to switch the camera again. So I got this at the Schönbrunn Castle. And here is a stamp with my name, with the J. And then when you open this up, take a look at this. So there's wax, and then there's gold powder, and there's a little crown so that I can stamp a seal on my envelopes that I send to you guys. Isn't that fun? So excited to do that. Anyway, that's my souvenir, and I guess someone else is going to be happy with that little squirrel. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I'm so happy to be back. I'm happy to be making cards with you. I hope you choose me for your demonstrator if you don't already have one. And of course, I would love to have you on my team, either in Canada or in Europe. So have a super day, and please message me if you have any questions at all. Alrighty, bye.